pigtails so they don't catch on fire. Whoa. I have not had that happen before. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Look who we have in the horse barn this morning. Jim's come to
Hi guys.
help do chores with me.
I still am not able to do any work, but I decided to come out with Brenda and video her doing chores. So let's see how she goes about doing chores. She's just getting some hay for the horses now.
Boys, are you a little impatient? My word. I'm a little bit late this morning.
One of these days I'm going to set the camera up so I can show you the horses laying down. As you can see, Ken definitely lays down, and Bill lays down quite often. But when they're not working any, which they haven't now for quite some time, there's really not a lot of need to lay down because they're not tired. So Brenda's in here. Not sure what she's doing. But she's getting grain already. I normally would feed the hay first, but it doesn't really matter. It's just shortly after that they're getting their grain. But of course they're way down on the amount of grain they're getting because they're not working.
Boys, good morning.
The colts tend to be a little not very patient, and they're stomping and pawing, so I guess Brenda wanted to get them fed right off so they'd shut up.
Good morning, Bucky.
I'm sure that the horses get quite a lot more love and attention when she does the work.
Kenny. Jim's a lot faster. He does this little, you know, between the stalls thing, but I don't do that. Not really. Ready? Graining is my favorite part.
So what are you doing now? Tell everybody what you're doing now.
We give minerals because we are low on selenium here, so we have a supplement we give.
And we just dump it on their grain. They seem to eat it up fine.
Yeah, they don't seem to care at all.
It must taste all right.
And just about everybody gets an ear of corn, and they love their corn. Don't you, lady? You love your corn? I just have to remember to take their cob out because they leave their cob in their bucket.
Actually, some of them eat the cob.
I haven't noticed that. Here you go, honey. Get one for Buckley. I'm not going to tell Kenny that he doesn't get... I usually just wait and don't show it to him. Oh, he doesn't care. He doesn't get... Sorry, Kenny. He doesn't get corn because he's too FAT. Buck. Go, Buckley. Okay.
We're fortunate to have some pretty good quality hay that we made that time. So it doesn't take a lot of grain to keep them quite well fed during the winter months.
If they're easy, I just take the strings off, but if I have a hard time, I have a scissors along since I lost my jackknife.
Every tool in its place, right?
Well, it was in its place, but I think I forgot to zip my jacket. Yeah, that is my ideal. I'm not saying I'm perfect with a tool in its place thing. But it does work. It makes life happy when you have your tools in your place. What's your best way for making an even amount, hun?
Of hay?
Yeah.
I go by weight.
Lady. Here's your hay, honey.
I'm not extremely consistent on it.
Billy.
We are not extremely consistent on our hay because my balers, last few balers I've had have not been very good as far as making good same size bales. I have some long ones and I have some short ones. So when you're pulling a bale out here, you want to give them a half a bale. Sometimes it's a bigger bale than other bales. So it does make it a little bit hard
Not
to
so much hay,
keep the same amount of feed. But when we come out at nighttime to re-water the horses, we always check to make sure there's plenty of feed in their stalls. So if there's more, if there's not enough, we'll add more.
Buck. Old Buckleby. Buck's a hard one because he doesn't look back half the time, so you don't know if he hears you or not.
So now all she has to do is get a little bit of hay for the colts. And we got to be very careful on the colts because if we overfeed them in their stalls, their mangers are not large enough, so they do waste hay. They didn't waste much last night at all, which is good. But we just tend to feed them more often in smaller amounts. So now we'll actually go in for breakfast, and Brenda still has to fill the fire. And then after breakfast, she'll come back out and do the rest of the chores. Take the horses. All the horses will go outside, and I am actually able to drive the skid steer. So she was cleaning all of these barns by hand. She did a great job for quite a few days here, doing all that work. But the doc says I can at least drive the skid steer. So I come in here and she'll clean the colts out and put that manure in the bucket, and then I will continue and clean the barns. But we'll do that after breakfast. A hay for going outside? Is that hay?
Yeah. Well, the colts didn't get a lot, but I guess they'll be okay till they go out.
Yeah. So now we just got to fill the fire?
Yep. Feed everybody else later. Look at the clouds we have this morning. I love those puffies.
I must say I've been enjoying one part of the surgery that I had to go through, and that is the fact that I can be kind of lazy and sit back and relax and let Brenda do all the work here. She's doing a wonderful job at it all.
I don't mind because he really doesn't usually take any breaks, and so I'm glad to let him rest a little bit. I'm really not minding it.
We were able, actually the day before surgery, get a whole bunch of my wood split up smaller because I used to have some pretty big sized chunks in here, and it was just too big for Brenda. And so now we popped a bunch of them in half and quarters, and now she's able to fill the fire easier.
I tuck in my pigtails so they don't catch on fire. Whoa! I have not had that happen before.
That definitely does happen sometimes. I always have to be careful about that. Of course, probably we were talking, we weren't thinking. And
Well, I usually stand back a little bit first. Yes, I know. I usually open it but still, I wasn't that close. It just
I'm curious to see what
whooshed
that
out of
looked
there.
like. Came up on camera. That was quite a back what do they call it?
Backflash?
Backflash, I guess. It's not. I've hardly seen it that big either.
I'm glad I tucked in my hair is all I got to say. Even though the hat would probably catch on fire too, but we both had our eyebrows singed before. I do have to say this is one of my least favorite chores because it's very smoky. It's a lot better since the wood is split, and these pieces today aren't bad. But the day before Jim went in for surgery, I thought he was gonna kill me. We got the wood splitter, and we spent the whole afternoon.
Brenda actually had the hard job because I did all the splitting, but she carried all this wood into the shed while I was splitting.
Well, you had huge chunks, but I'm glad we did it because this thing goes through so much, and I don't know when you're going to be able to lift again.
Hopefully it won't be long. Looks like a nice day out there today.
Gorgeous.
Calm, no wind. We've had a lot of wind lately, and when it's windy, it's not so fun.
I'm not doing that.
If you take the black thing and push it in, a lot of times you can roll them over. Have it instead of have it stuck halfway.
Or
just like that. That works good. Just get lower on it. Perfect. These outdoor furnaces are wonderful if you're in the wood business, but these just take so much wood. But you can just burn anything in it. I burn a lot of the basswood, which in my opinion is completely worthless firewood. But for this stove, it works fine. It's a piece of beech. Basswood was what you just barely put in. We have a little bit of everything here. Let me see if I can find some other stuff. We have some punky old wood that's really good for nothing. There's a nice maple that is really good.
throw some pieces.
It's got small chunks that aren't even firewood really, but we use it all.
Like you said, it works for us, but if you were buying firewood, it would be a lot.
It would be.
We've had people get a lot of slabs over the years, and you can put slabs in here.
Yeah, this is a whole pile of just slab wood from the sawmill. And some old boards and whatever.
I think I'm calling this the last one. I know Jim fills it more, but...
Just a second. Okay, look, I call that good.
Actually, it's kept the house up to temperature well, and we've had all kinds of crazy weather.
And we've shown on other videos this stove, the water comes in from the barn, because that's where the water comes in. It goes in pipes underneath here, and then it goes, oh, you can't really see it, I guess you can't see it, but then the cold water comes into here when it's needed to fill up all the reservoir, and then it heats, and then it goes back as hot water to our dry kiln, and then there's pipes through here that goes to the house to heat our house and heat our domestic hot water.
Ooh, look at the pink clouds now.
So, morning chores are done. I didn't do much, but it was fun watching. I hope you enjoyed what Brenda has had to do every morning, and that's just a portion of it. But maybe we'll show you some more as days go on. Hope you have a great day.
Thanks for coming along.